The first thing they do is listen to influencers. They well-meaning friends, family,
Tips. Yeah.
These are all shortcuts to invest. So what happens is when you're investing, to the time that you're doing well, you won't understand risk.
Yeah.
And the moment things turn, you get this huge surprise. That, to my mind, makes investors, afraid of longer-term commitments. They fall out of the market, or stop investing altogether, or do something similarly ridiculous by going and adding more money into wrong asset classes, investing without any plan, no direction. You're just investing based on today. What's the hot tip? You're just investing based on today I have funds. What should I do about it? Having a financial plan is very important. That should dictate where your investments go.
Hi there, welcome to Market Pillars Uncovered, the show where we get you top insights and an educational series from some of the top market experts. Today, we're joined by an industry expert and India's only SEBI-registered fee-only company that is called Probitus Wealth. And we have the founder, Kavitha Menon, joining in. Kavitha started Probitus Wealth in the year 2013 when she saw the need to offer truly client-centric advisory services to high net worth families, choosing the fee-only model to have complete transparency and alignment of interest. So on this episode, we'll talk about the importance of a fee-only model, some important DIY mistakes that a lot of first-time investors make, her investment philosophy, and outlook for the Indian markets. Stay tuned for that episode. Let's get started. Thank you so much, Kavitha, for joining us. What a pleasure it is to have you with us. So let's dive in first and understand your outlook on the Indian economy. What would be your projections for 2030?
It's very hard to give economic predictions for 2030, and I really honestly don't believe in doing it. But there are some positives which are there for the Indian economy, and I think as investors, it's something that will affect all of us. A decade back, the median age of India's population, that means the largest chunk of the population, was 18 years, which is now shifted to 28. Now, as 18-year-old, we don't make a lot of money, right? But when you get older, the working population, that's 28 is really the working and earning population. And this is going to only grow older. It's a consuming population, which means that for the next decade, we are seeing an economy that is going to consume more. We need more infrastructure. We need more resources. So we have a dividend, a demographic dividend. And that, to my mind, is one of the most important factors which will lead to huge GDP growth in the coming years, provided we harness the power of this demography. With, of course, good policy. So that comes second. We are at a stage we have a stable government. We have good economic policies. And on the macro front, we are quite stable, like we never were for the longest I can remember. So from an economic standpoint, I think we will do good if we are able to correct a little bit of the policy errors, harness the power of our demographics, then even double digit is possible in India.
Got it.
But let's say we don't do any of it, we'll still be growing at the rate at which we are right now.
Okay, fair. Now, it's interesting that at Probitus, you guys have what is called a fee-based model, and that is to encourage transparency and have investor alignment. Tell us a little bit more about what it is and why it works for you.
So, Probitus is, so I am the first investment advisor registered in India.
Okay.
SEBI registered investment advisor.
Oh.
When you are registered with the regulator, you are committing to a fiduciary model, which means that I am paid only by my clients. My clients hire me as a consultant and I advise them. This is a zero conflict kind of a model, which is otherwise in our industry, you would see that the models that are there are very product centric or it's, let me say, very conflicted.
Okay.
Right? Because it's based on commissions, it's based on income that product manufacturers offer to the advisors. In a fiduciary model, it's the other way around. We work for our clients.
Right.
So while I was working as a wealth manager before I started on my own, I saw there were many gaps in the wealth industry. Families had investments, but they were scattered. They had no proper direction. They had multiple wealth managers, multiple sources of investing. There was no single point of contact, and which meant that portfolios were not optimal at a net worth level. And that's where I thought that maybe we need to have somebody who works for the client, puts things together, gives them a bird's eye view of their assets, etc. And that's where Probitus was, came into existence.
Sure.
And we started in 2013.
And at a time like this, when everyone's looking to really capitalize on the markets, there's two ways of doing it. And some tend to burn their fingers doing this DIY approach, lots of trading apps and making a lot of mistakes, burning off their hard-earned money. What are some of the mistakes you think that investors should avoid?
So the first thing that DIYs or anybody who's beginning their investment journey, what they do is, the first thing they do is listen to influencers.
Yeah.
Influencers. Yeah. They well-meaning friends, family.
Tips. Yeah.
These are all shortcuts to investing. You don't do your research. You're finding a shorter way to do the same thing. And then you end up making investment mistakes. Because obviously the next hot thing may not be the best for you.
Right.
So the first thing is that, okay? Unsolicited advice it's not meant for you. I think the second mistake that investors do is a complete oblivion or to risk.
Yeah.
So what happens is when you're investing, the time that you're doing well, you won't understand risk.
Yeah.
And the moment things turn, you get this huge surprise. That, to my mind, makes investors, afraid of longer-term commitments. They fall out of the market. Or stop investing altogether, or do something similarly ridiculous by going and adding more money into wrong asset classes. So the understanding of risk, to my mind, is also very important.
Yeah.
And the third thing is investing without any plan, no direction. You're just investing based on today. What's the hot tip? You're just investing based on today I have funds. What should I do about it? Having a financial plan is very important. That should dictate where your investments go.
Yeah.
So yeah, these I think are the
absolutely mistakes. So important. And every client and every investor has their own individual goals. Like you said, they have different risk appetites. They have a different reason to invest. So how do you cater to different client needs?
Okay, so yes, different investors have different risk profiles, and today we are very fortunate to have a lot of products that can cater to every risk profile. At my company, at Probitus Wealth, we also do a review of risk profile very frequently, because risk profile itself changes quite in time with the growth in your assets, with your confidence levels. And of course, life changes, right? So you also have to reevaluate risk profile. But yes, there are various asset classes catering to every category of risk-taking investors. So we have these buckets which we have for various risk investors. So an investor with a very high risk appetite could have a lot more in risk assets like equities. While somebody with a very low risk appetite, somebody who's in his retirement phase, might have a higher allocation to safer assets like debt. But what we do is we have an asset allocation approach to every investor's portfolio. So there is an allocation to everything. We move the allocations depending on risk appetite.
Right. Okay, there's so many investment instruments out there. How are you looking at the wealth management industry, and what does the future look like, given that so many new investors as well are entering the market?
Yes, and the number of millionaires in India is also doubled up, right, in the last 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
So yes, the market is huge, it's growing. What I have seen in the last few years is that wealth management has also shifted from being product-centric to client-centric. What that also means that we are doing a lot more than just investment advisory.
Right.
We are doing things, first of all, investment advisory itself has expanded quite a bit. We are now moved international. We have assets that are not heard of 10 years back. We have SIPs, we have AIFs, we have PMSs. So things are, the whole basket is also expanded. We have private equity. So investors want exposures to all these categories, and that is something that the wealth industry has to cater to. Besides this, we're also looking at legacy planning, philanthropy, right? So the new rich want purpose to their money. It's not about just investments and growing rich. They want purpose, and that's something that has also changed in the industry currently.
And how are you looking at this app-based DIY model versus the expert management? And are you seeing now investors adopting a more expert-driven approach?
I don't think so. I think as technology progresses, more and more investors, first-time investors at least, will dabble with technology first. And it's a good thing. It's not so bad because there is a lot of information available. And see, to cater to a population like ours, you have to have tech, and you have to have some amount of information and transaction abilities which are going direct to investors. So I think both models will grow simultaneously. So there is a category which needs to go and do DIY, and then when the category grows, they come to the experts and have more expert-led advisory. I think both will simultaneously grow. It's not one or the other.
Absolutely. And that is interesting because, like you said, we have so much information, and if you do it the right way, why not? Can you also take us through your journey as an entrepreneur, how you got into this industry and where you see yourself?
So my journey has been very interesting. When I was doing an MBA, I was in the middle of the tech bubble. We graduated in the middle of a recession. And that was the time where UTI's Master Share 64 had just caused a lot of losses to investors. So my first project was with them as an intern. And they had woken up to the idea of doing financial planning. It was unheard of back then in 2000s. I'm talking about 2000. So I was given the task of creating a financial plan. There were no resources available. We didn't know what it works, how does it work. We created a questionnaire, we created a format on how planning can be done, and I was hooked. And I decided this is what I want to do with my life also. So worked with a wealth management company, which has now become Parag Parikh, the AMC. They were earlier wealth management firm. So I was working with them, and we had a very client-centric approach. And we were taking fees way back then. That was in 2003-04. We were doing financial plans, and we had a fee-based approach. So taking fees for advice was not new to me even when I started Probitus in 2013, because obviously Parag Parikh had gone the AMC way, and I wanted to be a wealth manager. So the journey started in 2013 when I wanted to work with a couple of my clients. I was going the family way. So I was on a sabbatical, but as soon as it was done, I started working, and when I took my first check from my client is when the regulation came in. There was no regulation when I started. So my idea of being a fee-based advisor was way before the regulation came in. So in Feb of 2013, the regulation came, I applied, became the first to apply and became the first advisor in India. And of course, after that, we have had a really long journey with lots of regulatory hiccups. I'm now part of the Association of Registered Investment Advisors. We are an association that talks to we have a lot of advocacy efforts with the regulator, with the government agencies. So we are always talking to them to make things better for investment advisors and also for the investors themselves. Because we are probably the only class of advisors who work on behalf of investors.
Got it.
Everybody else is a product manufacturer, is a product distributor or a seller. And we talk on behalf of the clients. So yes, so that journey has been so far very fulfilling. And I'm just hoping that we have very few investment advisors in India, fee-based investment advisors. So if I had to really, have one wish, then it is that there should be many more investment advisors who are fiduciaries and working on behalf of investors.
Hopefully, you should be leading the way for that.
We're trying.
Okay, so Kavitha, what keeps you busy apart from looking after wealth and managing all of that? What do you like to do in your free time?
My free time is very limited. I have 2 young kids, so all the free time is devoted to them.
Okay, but spending time with family, I guess.
Yes. So, I love reading. So anything that's beyond family time and work time is devoted to reading.
Lovely.
I'm an avid reader, but that too is taken. Like, it's a slow process now.
Which book would you recommend investors?
So I really am not the kind who's always reading financial books.
Okay.
I like reading fiction also. So I'm a big Amitav Ghosh fan. I'm just reading one of his books called Tide Country.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, great. So good talking to you. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
All right, that brings us to the end of this episode of Market Pillars Uncovered, and we will get you lots more episodes with top market veterans. Do remember to like, share, and follow, and do invest smart and stay informed.